In today's video, we're breaking down BigCommerce product options and how variants, modifiers, and more complex product setups actually work. What's up, you guys? My name's Ashley, and if you've ever been inside BigCommerce trying to set up a product and thought, why does this feel way more complicated than it should be? You're not alone. Product options are one of the most common places where store owners feel a bit stuck. At first, everything feels simple. You add a product, price, and a photo, but then you realize the product comes in different sizes, colors, materials, or maybe you want to offer add-ons or customization. And that's where things start to feel a bit messy. The problem isn't that BigCommerce is bad at handling product options. The problem is that most people don't understand how BigCommerce thinks about options. So once you understand that, the whole system becomes much easier to work with. So in this video, I'm going to talk through what variants are, what modifiers are, when to use each one, and how to think about complex product setups in a way that keeps your store clean, scalable, and easy for customers to use. Let's get into it. Before we talk about specific tools, it really helps to understand how BigCommerce views product options at a high level. BigCommerce separates product options based on what they affect behind the scenes. Some options affect inventory and fulfillment. Some options affect pricing. Some options are just extra information the customer provides. BigCommerce gives you different tools because these situations are not the same. And the mistake most people make is trying to force every option into one category instead of matching the option to what it actually does. Once you stop thinking in terms of what looks easiest and start thinking in terms of what does this option change, the right setup usually becomes a lot more obvious. Now, what variants are in BigCommerce? Variants in BigCommerce represent different physical versions of the same product. Each variant is treated as its own item when it comes to inventory, SKU tracking, and fulfillment. Even though the customer sees one product page, BigCommerce sees multiple distinct versions of that product. A common example is a shirt that comes in different sizes and colors. A small black shirt is a different variant than a large blue shirt. Each one needs its own inventory count because selling one does not reduce inventory for the others. Variants are powerful because they give BigCommerce very clear instructions about what is being sold and shipped. When a customer chooses a variant, BigCommerce knows exactly which version they ordered. Because of this, variants are best used for differences that truly matter at a physical level. Now, when variants make sense and when they do not. Variants make sense when the option changes what you're stocking or shipping. If choosing one option means you're pulling a different item from inventory, that option should almost always be a variant. Size, color, material, and style are common examples. These are not cosmetic choices, they change the actual product. Variants do not make sense for things like engraving text, gift notes, or optional add-ons that don't exist as separate stock items. Using variants for those situations usually creates unnecessary complexity. BigCommerce also has limits on how many variants a single product can have. If you misuse variants early on, you can hit those limits much faster than expected. So again, just some things to keep in mind when you're making your decision on if it's a variant or not. Next, we're going to talk about what modifiers are in BigCommerce. So modifiers are used when the base product stays the same, but something about the order changes. So modifiers allow customers to make selections that affect price, customization, or additional features without creating a brand new product version for each choice. A good way to think about modifiers is that they modify the base product rather than replacing it. For example, adding gift wrapping, choosing a custom engraving messenger, or selecting an optional warranty would usually be handled with modifiers. Modifiers can add or subtract cost, require customer input, or present optional upgrades, all without touching inventory counts for the base product. Now, when modifiers are the better choice? So modifiers are best for optional or personalized elements. If you're not stocking several physical versions of the product for each choice, modifiers are always the better choice. This keeps your product catalog clean and easier to manage. Instead of tracking dozens of SKUs for minor differences, you track one core product with flexible options layered on top. Modifiers also make it easier to experiment with upsells and add-ons without restructuring your entire product setup. Now, I want to explain the difference between variants and modifiers. So the simplest way to remember the difference between variants and modifiers is inventory. If the option changes inventory, use variants. If the option does not change inventory, use modifiers. Variants create separate product versions. Modifiers adjust the existing product. Whenever you feel stuck choosing between the two, just ask yourself whether the warehouse or supplier needs to treat the item differently based on that option. That question alone solves most of the confusion. Now I want to talk about why complex product setups can feel overwhelming. Complex product setups usually feel overwhelming because too many decisions are made at once. A product might have sizes, colors, finishes, and add-ons, custom text, and bundles all layered together. When everything is treated as equal, the setup becomes difficult to manage and confusing for the customers. The issue is not complexity itself, the issue is lack of structure. When options are not grouped intentionally, customers don't know what matters most, and store owners struggle to maintain the catalog. Now, how to break complex products into layers. The cleanest way to approach complex products is to think in layers. The first layer is the core product. These are the choices that define what the product actually is. These options usually affect inventory and should be handled with variants. The second layer is enhancements or personalization. These are choices that customize the experience but don't change the product base. These options are usually modifiers. By separating core choices from optional choices, you prevent option overload and keep your setup flexible. Let's run through a practical example of a complex setup. So let's just say you're selling a custom backpack. The backpack comes in different sizes and colors. Those choices affect inventory and fulfillment, so they should be variants. You also offer optional embroidery, an extra pocket, and gift wrapping. These options do not change which backpack is shipped, so they should not be modifiers. This approach avoids creating hundreds of variants while still giving customers control over customization. It also makes it way easier to adjust pricing for add-ons without touching inventory logic. So hopefully that example really gave you a full picture of when and how to use each. It's also really important to note how product option choices affect customer experience, because product options are not just a back-end setup decision. They directly affect how easy it is for customers to buy. If customers see too many drop-downs at once with no clear hierarchy, they're going to get overwhelmed. If options are mislabeled or unclear, they hesitate or abandon the purchase. A good setup guides the customer. Core choice becomes first, optional upgrades become second. Custom fields are clearly labeled. When the setup feels intuitive, customers move through it without thinking too much. So it's not just behind the scenes. It's really important to make sure you're setting things up for the customer to move through the checkout process with ease. Now, how product options affect store management. So the way you set up product options also affect reporting, fulfillment, and scaling, everything on the back end. Clean variant setups make inventory tracking more accurate. Proper use of modifiers reduces SKU bloat. Intentional structure makes it easier to add new options later. And a messy setup might work at first, but then it becomes painful as the store grows. So that's why it's really important to think about this both from a back-end perspective as well as a customer experience perspective, which is why it's important to really think about it before you just start creating a bunch of products and randomly adding variants and modifiers. It's really important to have a clear plan with how you're going to execute. Okay, now I wanted to touch on plans and pricing options of BigCommerce in case you don't already have a plan with them. So if you want to follow along as I go through this, we do have an exclusive link down below. They do have a couple of different options here. You can try for free for 15 days and then go ahead and pick a plan. I'm going to review the annual plans because that's how you're going to save 25%. You can go ahead and pay month to month if you would like as well. Okay, so the standard plan is $29 per month billed annually. With this plan, it's up to 50K online revenue, 0% added payment fees, 24/7 live chat and chat support. Then we've got the Plus plan, which is $79 per month billed annually. With this, you get up to 180K online revenue, again 0% added payment fees and 24/7 live chat and phone support. And lastly, the most popular is the Pro plan. So this is $290 per month billed annually. With this, you get up to 400K plus online revenue, again the 0% fees and 24/7 live chat and support. If you want to compare them even more, as you can see, we've got the card rates right here, 2.89% plus 29 cents. So they start at this 2.89% plus 29 cents, and then they do lower for the Plus and the Pro plan. As you can see, the standard plan has 4 inventory locations, the Plus has 5, the Pro has 8 inventory locations. You also can add up to 3 storefronts. You can add up to 5 storefronts, and then for the Pro plan, add up to 8 storefronts, but it does cost extra. Then with the standard plan, you get unlimited products and users. And then with each plan, you get the unlimited products and users, but with the Plus plan, you get the abandoned cart emails and customer groups. And then with the Pro plan, you get the advanced product filters and Google store reviews. They also do have a custom plan that you can check out, and it's best for people making $1 million plus online revenue. So you can go ahead and request a demo if this is the plan that you need. So again, what's cool is it kind of grows with you, right? You can start with the standard as you build up. You can go with the Plus and then the Pro, but they make it very clear on which plan you should be on depending on the amount of revenue you make. So we love that. that. Now, let's touch on some pros and cons of BigCommerce's product options. So starting off with the pros. So BigCommerce gives you flexible tools for both simple and complex products. Variants allow precise inventory and SKU tracking. Modifiers allow customization without catalog overload. When used together intentionally, the system really does scale well. Now for the cons. So there is a learning curve when you first understand how these options work, but now that you've watched this video, I know you have a much better understanding. Another con is variant limits require planning, and poor early decisions can create long-term cleanup work. Okay, so just some things to keep in mind. Lastly, I just wanted to touch on a few bonus tips for setting up product options cleanly. So number one is start with the simplest possible version of the product. Before adding every option, set up the core product first. Make sure inventory and pricing behave correctly before layering on complexity. Number two is to name options clearly and consistently. Customers should instantly understand what they're choosing. Avoid vague labels and keep naming consistent across products. Number three is to avoid using variants just because they're visible. Variants should serve inventory logic, not convenience. If the option does not require separate stock tracking, it usually does not need to be a variant. Number four is to group options in a logical order. Core product choices should come first, followed by optional upgrades or personalizations. This just makes the buying process feel guided instead of chaotic. And lastly, number five is to think long-term when adding options. Ask how this setup will look when you add more products, more colors, and more add-ons. Planning early prevents painful restructuring later on. Most stores are going to use both combinations of both variants and modifiers. Variants handle the core differences that affect fulfillment. Modifiers handle customization and enhancements, and using them intentionally gives you the flexibility without the clutter. So if you're feeling stuck, just go back to the inventory question. That single check usually leads you to the right answer. Product options don't need to be confusing, they just need structure. When you understand how BigCommerce separates variants and modifiers, complex product setups stop feeling overwhelming and start feeling manageable. The goal is not to give customers endless choices. The goal is to give them the right choices in the right order. If you want to check out BigCommerce yourself, we do have that exclusive link down in the description below. I do want to mention that these are affiliate links, which means we may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. So if you do choose to use our links, we just want to thank you so much in advance for supporting our channel. It really helps us to continue to create free content just like this. This channel is dedicated to helping you build and grow e-commerce stores with clear, practical guidance. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave any comments or questions below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.